It's Tuesday, August 11th, and this is Honest Faith. Hey guys, it's Colin. I want to welcome you to today's episode. It was a year ago today that we all heard the announcement that Robin Williams is dead. Like many of the other kids that I knew that grew up in the 90s, part of our childhood died that day. Robin Williams was always the man that would make you laugh. He was always the man that could make you smile. He could run his mouth a million miles a minute, spewing out one joke, one comparison after the other, voiced many of our favorite characters, played many of our favorite roles, and to find out that that was over was truly sad. I remember where I was when it happened. I was sitting at home in my chair, playing a video game, looking at my laptop, talking with my friends online, and I read the news article, Robin Williams commits suicide. My counselor and I had always talked about what it was like to live with depression, to live with being bipolar, and the name Robin Williams would always come up a lot. People that often have bipolar or depression, when they're out in social situations, can sometimes be the most energetic people. I've been told when I'm out, I'm fun, I'm social, but there are those moments when I'm alone that I'm really sad and I'm really depressed. Hearing that Robin Williams passed away really broke my heart for two reasons. One, because he was a talented actor, because he was an amazing person from what you would see in the news. And two, because it was the first news story I couldn't tell my dad about. In a few days, it'll be the 1-year anniversary of my dad's death. I'll be posting a vlog on my personal channel about that. But right now, I just wanted to talk about suicide and depression. I can almost remember the first night where depression in my life really first hit. I was young, I was in grade school, and I was so depressed with everything that was happening with me that I just couldn't think properly. I remember all throughout high school getting in arguments and crying, raging fits just with myself of just trying to think normally, trying to think positively about who I was, where I was in life, and what people perceived of me. I struggled with it throughout undergrad, I struggled with it in the in-between time, I struggle with it now. As a pastor at a church, I get asked this question a lot: what happens to people who commit suicide? A lot of people say those people end up in hell because they've killed, and the commandment says don't kill. But in truth, the commandment first of all says do not murder, which is an unjustified killing, and to the person committing suicide, their actions are completely justified. And secondly, I believe in a loving God who knows what we go through, who understands what we go through, who suffers with us as we suffer. And I believe he doesn't hold our actions against us if we're truly remorseful for what it is that we are doing, even while we're still doing it. To say that everybody that commits suicide is going to go to hell or be destroyed or burned for however long your belief says totally undercuts the power and the love and the grace that God actually extends out to us. This is probably, listening to this is probably going to be my most religious video because it's dealing with a serious topic. But it's the truth, and it's what I believe, and it's what I feel, and it's what I'll preach all day, every single day. I believe when I get to heaven that there will be somebody there cracking jokes, doing impressions, and I can look over and it'll be Robin Williams. And for all those other people that have lost somebody to suicide, I can tell you in confidence that there is still hope for them. The next story I want to talk about that many people have been arguing about over the past couple of weeks, possibly to a month, is Donald Trump. You have a politician who is going around saying incredibly racist things about all types of people, and it's getting national news and national headlines because it's pushing buttons and it's grabbing people's attention. I was out to lunch the other day with a friend. We were slightly talking about it, but then she got really heated and really upset with it. She's from South America. I was sitting at the table laughing because I don't like Donald Trump. I think it's a media stunt and it's a media thing. To seriously picture him in the White House, I just can't. It just isn't something that my mind can wrap itself around. To get so worked up over this is what they want to do. They want to get you angry, they want to get you upset, because that way you're going to talk about it, other people are going to look into it, and it's just going to keep spreading the news and information around until it's a name people know. And sometimes when people walk into the voting booths, they only go off of what they've heard and what they know. And sometimes it's, I've heard this person, I don't know who any of these other people are, so I'm going to vote for the name that I've heard people talk about. And that's how bad people can win elections. That's how bad people get put into place. If you're truly upset with Donald Trump and him running for president, instead of talking about him, start talking about the other people that you do like. Start spreading around good information. It's the idea that negative publicity spreads at the speed of light before good publicity can even be formed. So if you really want to affect change, start spreading around good publicity faster. The video I was going to post about last week had to do with Planned Parenthood. I'm not for abortion, I'm not against abortion, because everything needs to be looked at context. And if I'm trying to tell people that the Bible needs to be looked at in context, then definitely the idea of abortion does need to be looked into context. In the past, I've had many girlfriends who have used Planned Parenthood services before. With their 2014 report, you can see the number of services they performed on individuals. And last year, they performed a total of 327,653 abortion services. Now, what this really boils down to is about 3% of the services that they offer is abortion focused, but I've heard people say that the statistics are skewed when you say it like that. Like it's a package deal. Like when you go in for an abortion, all these other procedures have to get done and have to be taken into account before something happens. So Take that number, 327,000, and subtract it from each one of these other categories that far outnumber the amount of procedures done. 4.4 million STD, STI testing and treatments, 3.5 million contraceptions, cancer screening and prevention was 935,000, other women's health services 1.1 million. Even if you subtract 327,000 from each one of those categories, those numbers still far exceed the total number of abortions that were performed. The idea of defunding Planned Parenthood is ludicrous. They provide a much-needed service to the community. It is a name that is widely recognized, and to even think that they are going around and just openly selling body parts after numerous investigations have come up that they're all following the practices and the guidelines that they are supposed to is just plain insane. Be careful with the media, be careful with the information that you're receiving, and always go to the source to look at the raw data and statistics yourself before you jump to the conclusion. My name's Colin, and this has been Honest Faith.